All right, so we decided to do a tier list. This is going to be about exercises to build muscle in particular. Not really worried about cardio in this one or anything like that. It's not going to be too complicated. It shouldn't be. I think that's enough explanation. We're going to jump right into it. S is the best, D's being the worst. So starting with the first one, and I didn't really make these, so I don't know what to expect. So we're diving into this together. So the first one is going to be knee raises. And this is an ab exercise. I think it's a C tier. Me personally, knee raises, it's pretty good. It's all right. It's not exactly the best ab exercise. Not the worst. C tier, not horrible, not bad. We're going to go C tier. So we also have quite a lot to do. So I'm going to try to keep this moving a little bit. So deadlifts. Okay. So for a strength exercise, this is awesome. For a muscle building, it's all right. We're going to kind of meet it in the middle. Deadlifts are going to be a B tier. Just because it's mainly a strength exercise. And again, for muscle building, you don't really kind of get a whole lot. I mean, as far as a muscle hypertrophy. I like deadlifts. I don't do them as much as I used to. I'm trying to save my my back and everything. So next one, dumbbell shoulder press. Dumbbell shoulder press I like a lot, me personally. I even like it more than the military press. I think for a shoulder exercise, it is an A tier. It's an A tier. It is awesome. It's good for strength, good for muscle hypertrophy. It's awesome. I would guess it's probably the second most popular shoulder exercise. So I'm pretty sure that says hanging leg raise. And what I'm going to do with that is probably D tier. Probably D tier. You're probably not going to build a whole lot of muscle. Even strength, it's pretty much a muscle endurance exercise. And so, yeah, it's going to go in D tier. So we have the inclined dumbbell press. It's probably going to go in the A tier as well. It's good for muscle building. I know a lot of people like doing the incline. Try to get that upper chest. You also probably get a bunch of shoulder into it. It's good for muscle building. For me, especially the dumbbell, is you kind of have a limit to it. So if you start lifting really heavy, and you really start pushing your limits, it just gets really difficult from a strength point of view. That's why we're just putting an A tier. It's very good. And that's where we're going to keep it. So next one's going to be lunges. And where are we going to put lunges? I like lunges. I think they're limited. So I think that lunges are going to go in the B tier. They're a good muscle building exercise. Not exactly quite for strength. They're also quite limited as far as, again, the strength point of view. So solid B tier. That's where they're going. Lat pull downs. Lat pull downs, I think, is going to be our first S tier. So as far as building lats, this is pretty much the go-to for most people. It's a really solid exercise. Most people enjoy it. You get strength, muscle building. It's just awesome for lats. The most popular, probably the best one. So it's going in S tier. Next one's going to be leg press. Leg press is going to go into the A tier. Not quite the S tier. It's a good exercise. A lot of people like it. Especially if you do it right, it can kind of save you from stress that like a normal squat would bring. So good leg exercise. Good for strength, good for muscle building. So we are going to put it in the A tier. Next one, the bench press. And I mean, you already know. It's going to go in the S tier. It's a beast for the chest. It's just an awesome exercise. And awesome for building chest, good for strength, good for muscle building. So boom, bench press, S tier. Military press. This one's also going to go in the A tier. It's pretty awesome. I prefer a little bit, me personally, but this is kind of a preference. I prefer the dumbbell press, seated press, or shoulder press over the military press, me personally. But they both have their function. Some people like, either one. It's kind of a toss up between the two. So pick your poison. But either, again, A tier. Good for muscles, good for strength. So bent over rows. Let me tell you, I have a love-hate relationship with these. They're awesome for building your back. I think it's an A tier. For me, they kill me, I think, but in like the best kind of way. So for me, I think they're awesome. I do them. Good for strength, good for muscle building. It's an awesome exercise. So it's bent over rows, A tier, all the way. Planks. We're going to go in the D tier as far as, again, muscle building and strength building. It's pretty much just a muscle endurance exercise. You're not going to build a lot of muscle. You're not really going to get a lot of strength from it, but it's good for your core, good for getting that muscle endurance. So if you, want to plank for a long time or use your ab muscles for a long time, planks are awesome. Pull-ups. Pull-ups are going to go into probably the B tier. They're a good exercise. I know you can kind of elevate these a little bit with like a weighted pull-up, but it's one of those things where it's, especially first off for newbies, it's tough. I know they have like assisted ones, but again, I think there's just better exercises. Honestly, that's as simple as that. There's just better back exercises. It's not bad. It's a B. It's average. You could definitely work with it, but again, it's just better. The push-up kind of just falls into the B category again, where and same thing with the pull-ups. It's a good exercise. You can get a lot done with it, but there's a lot of things that are just better. It's pretty good for new people that are trying to build muscle, get some strength. But the second you start actually building your muscles and your strength, these push-ups start becoming almost like a muscle endurance kind of thing. Next, we have the overhead tricep extension. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to put it in this A category. It's kind of just a little step above this B. Definitely not in the S. It's a good exercise, good for triceps, good for, muscle building, muscle strength. I enjoy it, so it's just going to fall in the A category. Next, we have the single arm dumbbell row. What are we going to do with this? It's going to go with the A category. It's one of those things where a lot of people do this exercise correctly. A lot of people will pull either too high, pull out wide. So it's one of those things where a lot of people will honestly probably make it go into that BC by the way they're doing it. But if you do it correctly, it's that A. It's good. Builds a lot of muscle, a lot of strength. That's just the big gripe that most people just need to work on the form. Sit-ups. Sit-ups. I think we're just going to kind of go with that B category again. Once you get good at sit-ups, it's more of like a muscle endurance kind of thing. So it's just one of those things where it's kind of limited. It's solid. It's good, especially for beginners. Working out your core, it's a good thing. So kind of that B category. That's just kind of where it's going to fit. All right, these skull crushers. That's going to go in that A category. I like skull crushers. That's how, especially when I first started working out, that's just how I really worked out my triceps. The big thing is that most people who work on this will get a lot of elbow pain, just working off of that movement or whatever. But if you can just kind of manipulate the way you press and where you're putting the bar and everything, you can kind of mitigate that. That was a big thing of mine when I was working with them, just trying to find that right angle to get it off that elbow. But it's good for building muscles as far as hypertrophy goes, and good for building strength. So next we have these squats. Squats are going S tier. They're just all around, if you just want to get all around leg muscles, if you want to just go through hell, it's squats, and it's awesome. I like squats. They do what they're supposed to do. You could do hypertrophy, you could do strength. They're pretty much the king leg exercise, and so squats are going in the S tier. Tricep pull downs. This is also going to go in the S tier. It's pretty much the king of the tricep exercises. Everybody does tricep pull downs, and so same with all these S tiers. Everybody's doing them. You'll see them everywhere you go in the gym. Everybody's doing them. So It's an awesome exercise. I would say that it slightly leans a little bit more into like muscle building than the strength, but you know what? It's just, it does what it's supposed to do. All right, treadmill. Normally I would put this in the D tier, but it's just awesome. So I'm just putting it in the C tier. It doesn't really build a whole lot of muscle, doesn't really put on a whole lot of strength, but it's pretty much the king of cardio. And so I'm gonna put a little respect on its name and not put it with these other two in the D tier. I'll put it in the C tier. It's just good at cardio and muscle endurance. So next is gonna be the bicep curl. It's gonna go in the S tier. Bicep curl. It's just what you do to work your biceps. It's like the #1 thing. Again, it falls into the category of everyone at the gym will be doing it. So, and it's for a reason. So, bicep curls. It's going in the S tier. Stair climber. I'm also gonna put this in C. I understand that a lot of people like doing the stair climber. It has its place. It's kind of like the treadmill. Pick your poison, whichever one you like to do. It's very good at cardio, muscle endurance. So it'll put it in the C. Again, I'm just kind of putting respect on its name. Same thing that we're gonna do with the bicycle machine. I respect it. These three right here, the treadmill, stair climber, bicycle, those are pretty much the dynamic trio when it comes to cardio. Most people will be picking one of those three, so I'll put them in the C category just to kind of group them together. Body weight squat. What we're gonna do, I don't even think it belongs in the B. I'll even put it with the C, because body weight squats, and unless you're new at it, unless you're a newbie, this will be fine, I guess, to kind of get started. But even then, you're gonna outgrow it very quickly. So body weight squats, I'm just gonna put in the C. It's a C. Burpees, we're gonna put it in the B category. Kind of falls with like the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's a good starter. Where if you're starting off, want to put on muscle, don't know where to start, burpees are a killer. It can eventually fall into more of like the muscle endurance cardio as well, because I mean, it's just a glorified push-up. It's just gonna fall in that B category. Chest dips. So I'm gonna actually just put chest dips with regular dips. I know chest dips, you're kind of working a little bit more of your chest, but I'm gonna do dips in general. Whichever dip you want to do, chest dip, tricep dip, it's gonna go in the A category. It's a beast. It's very good, especially with chest. You might need a little bit more weight. So I know you can upgrade it with some weights. More weight puts more stress on your chest. Good for building muscles, and you can kind of it's just a solid exercise, and so it's gonna go in that A category. Chest press. This one's kind of my opinion. I think it falls a little bit more in the A category. It could probably, for some people, go into this S category. I understand that, and I respect that. Me personally, I have yet to be successful with my chest to the degree of like a bench press or even like a dumbbell press. To me, they're just different. I can just hit it different. As far as chest press, it's a very good exercise. I'm going to keep it in the A category, but I'll understand if some people have it in that S. Next, we have chin-ups. I'm just going to put it with pull-ups. It's pretty much the same thing, but you're just reversing the grip. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on it. Crunches, again, same thing with sit-ups. Honestly, I'd rather see you do a sit-up than a crunch, but I'm just going to group it together to kind of keep it kind of short. Lastly, the dead hang. What? D category. Dead hang. Unless you're really trying to work your grip strength, that's all that's gonna do for you. Weird one to end on, I guess. Okay, but that was the tier list. It was a pretty simple one, honestly. It didn't go too in depth, didn't go too crazy with the exercises, so it kind of hopefully fit a little bit of what people were expecting or wanting, as far as like maybe more experienced lifters, maybe newbies. Then this is just my opinion. Comment down below if you guys have different opinions. I would love to hear it. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I guess short, sweet, simple video. And I appreciate you watching. I guess this was just a short. So I guess this was just a short, sweet video. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.